You are listening to the Sealed Word on Grace Notes Ministries. I'm Marcus.
And I'm Jordan.
The most famous story of return in all of Scripture is about a son who left. We know that story so well, we have stopped hearing it. But I want to talk today about the other direction, about the parent who left, about the father who was supposed to be the one standing on the porch watching, and instead he was the one walking down the road in the wrong direction, and about what brings that kind of person back, because it is never what you think it is. And in this case, it was mathematics.
The prodigal father.
The man who had a family, a faith, a calling, and walked away from all three. The reasons are always real. The reasons are always complicated. The reasons, when you hear them, make a kind of painful sense. But the result is the same as any other absence. Children grow up in the gap. A wife becomes both parents. And the math of the family goes wrong in a way that takes decades to show its full damage. And then, something happens. And in the case of the man we are going to hear from today, what happened was a sealed envelope in the mail, with a website address inside, and nothing else.
His son mailed him the website.
His son had been listening to this show for 2 years, never mentioned it to his father, just printed the URL, wrote the address by hand, put it in an envelope, no note, no message, just the address, and mailed it to wherever his father was living. And the father typed it in, and started at episode 1.
Robert is on the line. He has been back home for 14 months. Robert, thank you for being here. I am going to try to hold it together. My son Michael is going to come on after me, and I want to be coherent when he comes on. So I'll just say what happened, and then I'll let him say what he needs to say. I left when my son was 11. He is 26 now. I had reasons that I thought were good reasons, and I will not say them here because they do not matter. What matters is the 15 years. And what matters is the envelope that showed up at my door 18 months ago, with nothing in it but a URL handwritten on a piece of paper. And I typed it in because I do not know why I typed it in. Maybe because it was the only thing my son had sent me in 5 years. Maybe I just needed to know what he wanted me to see. And I started with episode 1, and I listened for 2 weeks. And somewhere in the middle of season 2, I started to understand that the book I had been handed as a child and had walked away from was not what I had thought it was. It was not a collection of people's opinions about God. It was a mathematically sealed document from God. And I thought, if he sealed it to that precision, then he sealed the promises to that precision. And the promises include the prodigal. And I got in a car, and I drove to my son, and I knocked on his door. And when he opened it, he was not surprised. He said, "I knew you would come after episode 7.
Michael, your father said you predicted episode 7.
Episode 7 is the KJV defense episode, and I knew that was the one that would get him, because my dad is a logical person. He did not leave because he stopped believing in God. He left because he stopped believing the promises were precise. He thought the promises rounded. He thought they were close enough, but not exact. And episode 7 is about the mathematical difference between the KJV and the modern translations, about what happens to the count when specific words are removed. And I knew when he heard that, when he understood that the precision of the text is not negotiable, that God did not approximate, that the promises are as exact as the letter count, I knew he would understand that the promise about the prodigal is exact, that it does not round, that it names him specifically, that there is a fatted calf with his name in the number. And I just had to get him to episode 7. So I mailed him the address, and I waited.
14 months. You are home.
14 months. I am home. Run the counts. purebiblesearch.com, biblenumerics.com, kjvcharts.com, sealedbytheking.com, gracenotesministries.com/kjvnumerics. And if there is someone in your life for whom you have been holding the door open, mail them the address. No note, just the address. And wait for episode 7.